as we talk about the hygiene aspect, I wanted to talk with you about that because so I use a natural toothpaste. I use like a beef tallow soap and a beef tallow moisturizer. And the reason I do that is because I've had skin issues in the past. Like I'll get a rash on certain things or a certain brand of deodorant I'll use, and then I'll have burns in my armpit. And so, I mean, the stuff that they're putting in these things really impacted my skin. So I'm kind of wondering what kind of stuff, and you don't have to go into specific brands or anything, but what kind of stuff are you advising people to use?
Yeah, and when it comes to hygiene, I I give like a 7 ingredient rule. You should try to keep the things you're putting on your body under 7 ingredients, and you should probably know what they are. If you can't pronounce something that's on like your deodorant label, it's probably not something you want being absorbed through your armpit.
Mhm.
uh, just because your skin is like a super absorbent organ on your body. So anything you put on it is gonna get taken right in, and then you'll you'll feel the effects, or it'll affect your body. So yeah, the 7 ingredient rule is big for me, and I know it's hard sometimes, but I have a deodorant. It's a magnesium based deodorant where it has 4 ingredients and it doesn't let me smell. But it's not like something that's stopping me from sweating, or anything. But yeah, it's really nice because when I was using like high ingredient chemical deodorants, like yeah, it
Mhm.
would cover the smell, but I would stink badly if I didn't keep applying it. Like my workouts, I would smell like cat pee, because my body was like trying to detox all these chemicals, and yeah, it was not good. But and that rule really goes for every hygiene product. Your shampoo, your toothpaste. Toothpaste will be hard, just because it has to have like a certain consistency and it has to froth up, to be able to be spread. So I've used like a coconut oil based toothpaste. I'm using just a non-fluoride toothpaste right now. And we can talk about fluoride a little bit too, just because that's something that's pushed as healthy, but in my opinion, it's not. So it really comes down to just knowing how certain chemicals affect your body, and then avoiding them or adding them in if they are a negative or a positive. And that's the education that I like to give people. Not that I'm saying use this or use that, but I definitely will say some people use this and their teeth are actually being remineralized, because they're not being destroyed and plaque isn't being um, damaged by what's being put on them every day. So
Yeah, when you talk about fluoride, that's one of the reasons that I got, a natural toothpaste and just some of the research. And I don't have any to cite right now, but a lot of things are, the fluoride, I think it was a fertilizer runoff and they didn't know really what to do with it. So, well, let's just dump it in the water. So it's like it's in our water and stuff now too. So it really, I believe it has minimal benefits, but it has a lot of long-term like negative effects. Is that how you understand it as well?
yeah, so fluoride, like you said, it was a phosphate fertilizer byproduct. So people were making fertilizer for like the field, and then yeah, this was just a byproduct. And um, depending on how conspiracy minded you want to get, we we can dive into different levels of this, but um, it's just dumped into water, and fluoride is a neurotoxin, so it stops your nervous system from functioning optimally, and it's considered safe at low levels. But the thing is that whatever you're putting in your body is going to start to build up. Like sugar is really safe at low levels too, until it's converted into fat for 40 years, and then you are morbidly obese. So fluoride, yeah, 73% of Americans drink fluoridated water. And it's put in toothpaste, it's put in mouthwash, and I mean a lot of and like further down the line, a lot of like our drinks that we buy just in bottles and cans are made with fluoridated water. So it's really hard to consume anything that doesn't have fluoride in it. And yeah, it's fluoride levels in the body or in the water system have been really highly correlated with lower IQ scores for children. So, I mean, if you look at the evidence that's mounting, you can see that it's kind of an issue. So yeah, a big thing with fluoride is to filter your water with a filter that actually takes fluoride out, and just try to stay away from drinking straight from the tap, stay away from things that are made with fluoride water, because it can lead to a lot of issues. I have a big list here. Obviously, neurological problems, so IQ reduction. It's been linked to ADHD and other cognitive issues. It can mess with your reproductive health and
Mhm.
like impact fertility. It can lead to sorry. It can lead to skeletal fluorosis, which causes joint pain and will increase your risk of fractures. It can lead to thyroid dysfunction, which is going to mess with your hormones. Like the list just goes on and on and on. So this is just one example of a chemical that we're given in
Mhm.
just everyday life that is a negative that we should try to take out of our life as much as we can.
Yeah, when you talk about how conspiracy minded you want to be, I think the main conspiracy that people, come up with here, and whether it's true or not, right, is that big pharma, wants to feed you medicine. So let's make everybody sick. So
Yeah.
whether it be big pharma or big healthcare, however you want to talk about it, but they want you sick so they can make money, right? I mean, that's how I understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have to kind of catch myself with most of these things that I find are harmful and we need to subtract from our lives, but they're pushed as healthy by like the big government agencies. So I have to catch myself from thinking that way with everything, that is, I mean, touted as healthy. Even like the old food pyramid
Hmm.
was was or is insane. Like it's like 13 servings of grains a day and or 13 servings of carbs and grains, and then protein is like two servings or three servings. Like everything is backwards in our world. And I mean, we can talk about the lifting versus movement side of training as well, because that's the biggest thing that I focus on, obviously. Everything is backwards from a health standpoint, um, as far as what we're being told. So yeah, it's hard to not think into the conspiracy side of things, because if if even one person thought this was a good idea, I'd be surprised in some cases. But there's like a massive amount of people that thought, yeah, let's throw fluoride in the water. Or they did it on purpose, like you said, because they want to get us sick and they want to treat illness, or they want to treat symptoms of illness and then keep selling us stuff. And that's kind of a big part of our economy too. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting conspiracy rabbit hole to dive down.
Yeah, if you get a chance to listen to Jordan Peterson talk about how much of a scam the food pyramid is, I would recommend that you do that. And there's other podcasts I've heard that talk about like the FDA and how they can be bought and paid for by certain companies and lobbyists and that type of stuff. And I'm not endorsing that here, but I'm saying I've heard that, and it's just amazing the things that we allow and we don't regulate, even
Yeah.
after the research. When the European Union bans a lot of these things now after they see the research because they know it's harmful to their people, so
Yeah.
they start banning things. So it really is a backwards system here, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you're to this stuff to try and bring awareness to people.